have my friend and colleague, Russ Johns, with me. And Russ is the host, creator, interviewer extraordinaire of the Pirate broadcast. And I believe it's on LinkedIn, Facebook, all over the place, right? And he does all kinds of wonderful things. So I'm gonna let him tell you a little bit about that, but you can find him at russjohns.com. And as always, I have the link wherever I post this video. Hi, Russ, thank you for being with me.
Thank you so much, Sharon. I really appreciate the opportunity to have a conversation. You know, it's been a minute since we've had a conversation. So welcome and thank you.
You're welcome. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to help people, like share with them some of the people that I admire and I know them as a person, as a good human being, and bringing wonderful things into this world. So I'm trying to share with people maybe some of the challenges that we're having and ways to deal with them, or what I found for myself, a lot of my clients were dealing with things that surprised me. So is there anything in particular that you see showing up for yourself or your clients? Just you choose, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, I do have clients that have been impacted by this event, this pandemic. And the biggest impact has been around accessing resources, whether it be getting to and from places. The other thing is this idea and this concept that historically they've gone to an office to do work and now they're at home. So the separation of being at home, having kids at home,
right,
and also doing work at home, which is typically and historically 3 different jobs in itself.
Right, exactly.
And so combining that into one environment has been a little challenging for some of these individuals. And as Zoom sessions, the news about, kids walking into the room or people not realizing you're on it. My dad walks into the room all the time and he delivers mail to me. I could be on a call and he's completely oblivious to what is going on in terms of my environment, my work.
Right. But I will say one thing about that. I love that it's making people be more genuine.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I see it as a welcome challenge to many of us, because I think a lot of people, and this has been my history, Sharon, and we've had many conversations about this, is the fact that sometimes you don't realize how miserable you are in the rut that you're traveling until you have an opportunity to be shoved out of it.
Right. Well, you can't see it because you're in it. You can't see it because you're in it. Now, you and I have home offices. We work from home, and we've done that for several years. So that was not a huge pivot that we had to make, right?
No.
But what suggestions do you have or tips that you think could help someone? Like, let's say if their kitchen table is the only place they can plug in their laptop and work and do stuff. You have any ideas, suggestions that you've seen your clients do?
Yeah, I mean, there's really a series of great recommendations. Number one recommendation that I have for anyone that is working home, quarantined, or unable to go out and travel, utilize the time that you're not in traffic, you're not traveling.
You're not commuting. Some people have 2 hours.
You're not commuting
before. Yeah.
Utilize that time as a learning experience. Utilize that time as an opportunity to actually generate a new skill or improve an existing skill. Look at things that you've always said, oh, I coulda, shoulda, woulda, or
I only had the time. I would. I'm going to get around to it.
Yeah, my round to it is here.
Yeah.
and so utilize this time to your advantage, because it's like found time.
Yeah, I love that. I always say it feels like God pressed the pause button
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so I didn't realize God pressed the pause button and gave you a round to it. Right.
Yeah. 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 So all of these round to it you have, it's the joke on the internet now is, all of those things my husband said he needed time to do is, the honeydews,
Yeah.
the honeydews are now is the time to do the honeydews.
Right. Right.
And so don't allow, I have a tendency to my life and my balance and my work and my life are essentially one because
Right.
I create content. That's what I do. However, a lot of people that have specific tasks that have to be completed for work don't allow the fact that you're home to consume the time that you would normally,
The visual that I saw for that was like if your normal work day is like 9 to 5, and so this is when you do your normal work, but you're
uh
at home, and so you start expanding it, right? Because you're always going to have something to do, right? So
yeah,
there's two sides to that coin. One is you can always find something to do. I mean, if it's for your work, not just your
yeah,
home, but your work. But the other thing is, work fills the time allotted for it, right? So now, if you actually were stretching out the time it took you to do a task, don't feel guilty about that. Don't feel bad. Just say, okay, now I know I can do it in this amount of time, and I will, and then I'll have my free time.
yeah. And then take your time, take
Right.
breaks, get up and stretch, go get a glass of water, go for a walk, do some things that you would normally do if you were in an office environment and you would walk down, to grab a sandwich down a block or two, take that same time and maybe cook a nice lunch or something
You could
fun.
also make a phone call to a friend.
Yeah. Reach out,
Yeah.
stay connected, stay engaged, stay involved. It's really an important time in history to where, we don't know who around us is suffering. We don't know who might need that phone call or that kind word. So,
That just touched my heart because I was thinking you and I both have people that we live with.
uh-huh.
I have a husband. My brother comes over, and the only place he goes is between there and here. And you have a family support system, and there are so many people who don't. And
Yeah.
this is a wonderful time. I was talking with a friend this morning about how um, it can be good or bad, but it's a wonderful time to really um, tap into yourself and understanding yourself and what matters to you, what motivates you, what you can let go of, what you want to create more of. And some people aren't used to being alone with themselves. Um, so they might need you to make that phone call or just
Yeah.
reach out and say, hey, you okay? How you doing?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's really important for us to also understand that it's okay to have time to maybe do some self-reflection.
Right. We're
Things are
not used to
changing.
that. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with a little discovery and self-awareness, right?
Right.
The more aware you can become of what your needs are.
Right. And what's important to you?
And what's important to you is
What
is
what
is it
what makes you what brings you alive,
well,
right?
it's not only that, Sharon, it's also what can I release that I no longer need to carry around as baggage?
Right. Or
There's so
what's
many things
eating
that
up my time? We were talking about that earlier, how, I realized I was doing a lot of things just to fill up my time. And
Mhm.
why do I want to do that?
Well, it's because the way we've always done it, right?
Exactly. You don't have to look at yourself. It's funny, I was talking to another friend earlier today, and I said when I first started in business and did straight up just healing sessions, people would be afraid to do a healing session. I said, why is that? And I realized it's because, that Zycam commercial where the snot monster follows them down the street,
Uh-huh.
people are afraid when they look within that they're going to be the snot monster, right? And nothing is further from the truth. Deep within your soul and who you are and your God self, you are so beautiful, but you haven't given yourself the time to see it.
Yeah.
You know, I
And
know you're a very introspective person as far as that goes. So
give yourself permission, you know, and just to be yourself. You know, there's so many things that I've learned over the years that we accumulate things that we believe will impress other people. However, it becomes burdens to who we are and who we need
right,
to become. And it's really a trap. It's this societal trap that we allow ourselves to get involved in. It's the curse of comparison. It's like, okay, I don't have this, so I must not be as important. Well, you know, you're important just the way you are. You are
exactly.
perfect just the way you
You
are.
have no idea. You have no idea what you may say that touches someone else.
Yeah.
You just have
Yeah.
to trust that it all, you know, divinely works together. And yeah, it's interesting to me how I can see so many good things that will come out of this. And I always tell people, I'm not a Pollyanna, okay? I'm not. I'm a very realistic person. And I'm a
Mhm.
pretty smart woman. You know, I've been on this earth long enough to understand some things. So it's not about that, but don't feed the fear, right? I've seen a lot of people, that's all they do is feed the fear, feed the fear. And it dawned on me this morning, I'll share this, and you may have a thought about it. So my one thing that I would do with the train wreck, you know how you gotta watch the train wreck, was I would log on and I'd look at the map and see how many cases there were and how many people died, right? Don't ask me why, my morbid, you know, mind. And it dawned on me yesterday, I went, okay, wait a minute, time out. If they were testing everybody in the country or the world, those numbers would make sense. So why am I looking at these numbers to give me some sort of feeling of control when they don't really mean anything, right?
No, no. The thing that we have to realize is that, you know, there are people out there that are on the front lines in the healthcare industry, first responders, people that are out there, you know, making sure that supplies are getting delivered, groceries are getting delivered, you know, medical supplies are being delivered, and the nurses and the doctors, the people that are assisting these people, are
Right,
really, you know, the heroes of the day. And
right,
they're just, and it's just like, let's stay out of their way and allow the least amount of exposure possible to
right.
the most population we can. The biggest population we can just needs to stay out of the way, you know.
Yeah, I'm
And it's
staying
it's
home.
not too much to ask for the humanity to
Exactly.
you know, and there's a cost associated with that. Just think of all of the, I mean, look at the sports teams. They're losing millions, billions of dollars. You
Right.
know, there's people that have a massive impact, and it's like, let's do what we can on our small level to produce the best outcome and slow this thing down to the point where it could be managed by the people that need to be on the front
And
lines.
one thing every single person can do is to stay home. And if you have to go out, do it in a safe manner.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, if you have a mask, wear a mask. If you don't, stay the distance apart. You know, don't, yeah, just, you know, be aware. Be
And I think
aware.
there are more questions than answers that, you know, as this thing evolves and comes up, and we don't know what the end result is. We don't know what the outcome is. We don't know ultimately what
Right.
the
And
results are
we
going
want
to.
to control things. You know, as human beings, we think that
Yeah,
we're safe. We're
yeah.
safe if we can control things. And guess what? We're not really in control of anything,
We're
right?
not really. There,
But you
you
can,
know,
some things you can control. You can control what you eat. You know, you control the clothes you put on. You can control picking up the phone and calling somebody that you know might need you. The things that you can't control them, because that's what's going to get you through this in a more peaceful, calm manner,
and I think the
right?
rule of thumb is going to be resiliency, adaptability, and taking and learning new skills that are going to allow you to move forward in a positive way.
Exactly. All right. Well, anything else you want to say to whoever's watching this?
kindness is cool. Smiles are free. And I want you to enjoy the day.
All right. Thank you so much, Russ.
You
Bye for
bet.
now.
Bye for now.